All right, we're going to set you guys up over here because the sun is looking real good back here. Let me just check this side, make sure we got decent stuff. Dogs joining us. All right. So, guys, first off, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to cover a few things. We're going to talk about the drain system that we just installed behind the house here. We're going to talk about why it failed and how it failed. We're going to talk about where has Liz been, because Liz has been missing from every video lately, it seems like. And we're going to talk about the future of both of the channels. So before you guys even start to watch this video, I would click the link down in the description to see the build video of how we just built and installed our new drain system back here. So we're going to try to do this whole video in one cut just to show you guys that like it's, you know, as real as I can make this. So let's talk about the drain first. What we did with the drain back here, if you've already watched the video, you'll know that we dug a hole about 10 feet deep. We filled it up with drain rock, and about 2 feet from the bottom of that hole, we installed a culvert to kind of make a drain system. What we have been having going on here, guys, is, you know, from the very first winter here at this homestead, Liz and I have had water that leaked into the house, and you know, we've been fighting that since. So the project we just did hopefully is going to fix that problem. So like I said, we dug about 10 feet down, filled that entire hole up with clean purchased drain rock, you know, washed drain rock. If that water rises up to about 2 feet, so 8 feet down, we have a culvert. And the idea here is, guys, is that since this hole is filled up with drain rock, any water that does accumulate down in this hole is going to dissipate because there's so much surface area within the hole itself. But if for whatever reason that water does rise up to a certain point, it can hit the culvert, which is going to direct it away from the house here. And you may be wondering why we needed a drain like that. You know, right here we have a mountain, you know, essentially a very small mountain that sheds all the water downhill, and I built the house, you know, at the bottom of the hill. Unfortunately, that was not the best planning on my part, but we've made it work. The water comes down into this little swale here. The swale directs all the water out that way towards the drain, and yeah, so that's the idea. The water runs that way, hits the hole. If the hole ever does start to fill up, I put a culvert in, and it directs water out of there. So let's see, the second part, what did we say? We're going to talk about some comments that were on the build video of kind of what went down here. And let's see, so we'll start off with some people took the video / title, I'm not really sure. Some people said, you know, how dare you call Marty Raney out on his failed system after he just, you know, built you this amazing thing, and, you know, you're ungrateful. I can't believe you would say something like that his drain doesn't work after they just did all that. They call me ungrateful. People are saying, you know, how dare you slander him like that. And what I have to say to that is, guys, there's no slander at all. This is real life. I'm just saying that the drain that Marty installed did not work. I'm not trying to bash him. I'm not trying to call him out. I'm not ungrateful by any means. All I'm saying is, hey, you know, this is what happened. Here's the design of it. It failed, so here, we're going to, you know, address this. And I'm not attacking Marty at all. I text Marty. I have Marty's personal number. We stay in contact, like, at least once a month. I'll send him pictures, updates of the homestead. He sends me pictures of what's going on where he's working at. It's like we have a good relationship. I don't know why some people assumed that I was, like, trying to call out Marty Raney in this video by any means. I think that's absurd. And I think that's terrible that, like, it seems that's the norm for, like, what our society is heading into. You can't even disagree with somebody without them, like, attacking you or hating you or something like that. And I think it's terrible. Like, you know, in this situation here, I'm saying, hey, you know, Marty put this drain in. They're in and out of here like a tornado. I don't know, you know, how much thought went into this, but it failed. So, and since it failed, you know, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to take care of it. I'm not trying to, like, call him out or bash him or anything. I just think that's crazy that people go straight to that, like, oh, how dare you slander him? I'm like, guys, no, it's, please, come on. Don't be that soft. Look at all the context here, you know? And that, like I said, that's what our world is coming to. You can't even critique somebody. You can't give anybody constructive criticism anymore without them, like, taking offense to it. And I think that's terrible. I think that's what people need to realize, that, like, the world isn't all gumdrops and snowflakes anymore. Like, you have to take that criticism to learn. The reason I'm standing here today is because, since I graduated high school, I've worked and I've taken criticism. People are constantly saying, hey, there's a better way to do this. Great try, but it didn't work. Do it this way. And that's how people learn. That's how you kind of build up on yourself and figure things out in life. That's how you figure out a lot of things in life, is failing. So, if Marty ever asks, hey, that drain, how did it work? I'd tell him, like, dude, it didn't work at all. We had to dig it back up. But this is what I did. And, like, let's maybe think about that next time. And it's just, yeah, I don't like that our society has turned into that. Rant over on that one. Bottom line, I was not trying to slander Marty. I was not trying to call him out. Like, yeah, I put his picture in the thumbnail to try to get the clicks. We're extremely grateful for everything they did. We reached out asking for this wall. Not only did they come build us a wall, they moved our greenhouse and upgraded it. They built us a garden, and they, assembled a giant shipping container barn at the bottom, all the while putting a cabin up at the top. It's crazy to me. When anybody asks me about the show, I tell them, like, dude, Marty Raney saved our house. That wall he built is incredible. He straight up saved our house. And not only did he do that, they went above and beyond to do these projects that, really weren't necessary for the survival of our homestead, I guess. So yeah, I sing his praises all the time. I think people just don't really understand, that it's hard to portray every bit of, like, emotion, I guess, or context through a video, or maybe I don't do a good job, editing that or whatever it is. But yeah, that was a little weird to me that people had that reaction to it. So I apologize to all you guys that had that reaction. I didn't mean anything by it. If you unsubscribed from us right then and there, good riddance to you, because we don't really want that around here. And let's run into the next topic here in this video, is like where these channels are going. So these channels, guys, when somebody starts a YouTube channel, they're, at least in my opinion, they are definitely looking at a few things, and they're catering to their audience. And I did exactly that. I catered to my audience, or tried to at least. But this channel is going to change just a little bit. What you guys have seen, yes, it's me, but it's not the true me. I grew up in heavy construction for a long time, outdoor work, really hard, like grunt work, essentially. So, there's definitely some rough characters, rougher crowd that you meet through that line of work. And yeah, I love working with those guys. And, that hard work, when you're swearing and you're sweating, but you're still getting the job done, that's who I am. So, this channel has kind of evolved into, like, trying to really glorify the homesteading thing while showing that, like, the person's attitude is, like, all chipper, and, there's no cuss words said and blah, blah, blah. But it's not going to be like that anymore. I'm going to try to, like, really be myself on camera. I recently read something that said, like, if you ever try to change yourself for somebody else, that's not cool. And it kind of struck home with me just a little bit, in this aspect right here. So I haven't really been myself on camera. So I'm going to try to, like, really just be myself, and hopefully you guys enjoy that. And so yeah, that's kind of where we're going with both channels. And on that note, both channels, we have Layback Living, and we also have the Lordens. So on the Lordens, you will see more homesteading related content, more house building related content, garden, the animals, anything with the house, a lot of things with the property. You will find that on the Lordens. On Layback Living, which is like our bread and butter, that's our bigger channel, you're going to see more outdoor type content. We live in a very, like, outdoor activity rich area, I guess, up here in North Idaho. We have just, like, lots of opportunities for outdoor recreation, and that's kind of more what you'll see on Layback Living. Just a smorgasbord, fishing, hunting, skiing, snowboarding, snowmobiling, trapping, anything outdoors around here, anything like that is going to be on Layback Living, and anything homestead related is going to be on the Lordens. So if you guys are into either or, definitely subscribe to one of those channels, if not both. That would really help us. But that's kind of the mentality and the focus for where these channels are going to be going here in the future. And that brings us to our other point of where is Liz? You know, a lot of you guys have seen us build this YouTube relationship, I guess. And Liz, frankly, guys, Liz got a job. So she's going to be in a lot less videos, unfortunately. And, you know, the reason she got a job is because we tried to do the YouTube thing for, I don't know, 3 years or so. And we were kind of like struggling. Obviously, we got bills to pay while still buying supplies to finish our house. So financially, you know, for the last year, we've been struggling. We've not been able to keep up on the bills and save money for a lot of these projects. And in turn, that hurts the content as well, which in turn hurts our revenue. So it's kind of just like this big snowball effect of like once we slowed down, it just kept getting worse and worse, especially financially. So Liz got a job. She works here in town. That's just like a regular 9 to 5, gets a regular old paycheck, and you know that we're hoping that can help us get back on our feet to start producing the good projects again for you guys and making the good videos. So that's kind of where we're at there. We didn't have the income for both of us to continue to try to do this. I've started this from the beginning, so it kind of made sense for me to like just try to continue it, see if we can find a little bit of love somewhere and like make the system work for us. But until then, until we can start making good projects, Liz is gonna probably be in a few less videos for sure, but she's definitely not like kicked off the channel or anything. What you guys could do to help us is just like share this video, share all of our videos. It would really help us. And I think your next question would be, well, why should I share that video? Why do I want to share your video? What's the point? I guess the point I would say is in the whole goal of trying to do this whole YouTube thing, my goal is to try to inspire people in a non-traditional sort of way. So a lot of the projects that come with home building or construction, or just, you know, life in general, a lot of people will tell you, well, there's this way to do it. This is the tried and the true way to do this. This is the way you have to do it. And that's kind of how people are brought up here in America. You know, you have to go to school, you have to get a college degree, and then you have to work to do this. And I would disagree with that very much. I think there's a lot of ways to do things. I think there's a lot of ways to get through life, and I think there's more enjoyable ways to get through life rather than doing that 9 to 5. So that's my goal with both of these channels, is to constantly inspire people to do your own thing, to try it, to just try it. Even if, you know, someone says, hey, you got to do it this way, but in your mind, you see it possibly working out like, oh man, what if I did it this way? It doesn't hurt to try it, you know, as long as you're safe and you can afford a few mistakes here and there, like just try it. And that's what I think a lot of our society has turned into as well. They won't even try to do things. We've been so manipulated into this certain path where you have to do things this way. I disagree with that. And since I have disagreed with that for many years, and I've worked for a lot of great employers who have inspired that thought in my head of like, hey, just think of a different way of doing this. Is there a better way to do this? And if you approach things with, you know, that thought and really sit down, and I'm not saying that everything that people say, like, disagree with them. I'm just saying, like, take their thought in. It might be the best idea, but just analyze everything. Just look at both sides of it. And if you think you found a way that maybe could work better, I would definitely try that. I would not be here today with all the things we have if I didn't... I would not be here today if I didn't try things throughout my life. You know, through trial and error, that's how people learn. That's totally how people learn. So that's my goal with this channel, is to not only show you guys that like anybody can do this, because I don't have much of a background with a lot of the things we're doing. Not only am I trying to, you know, express that, I'm also trying to express like have some freedom, think outside the box just a little bit. And I think you're going to be happy with it. I think a lot of people are kind of stuck in that box. So that's kind of where both of these channels are going. More Homestead on the Lordens and more, you know, outdoorsy, fun type playing stuff on Laid-Back Living, hence the name. That was kind of why we wanted to switch channels as well, because Laid-Back Living, a lot of the work that we've done around here is not really laid back. You know, everything that you guys see on all our videos around the homestead, it is completely by Liz and I, you know, minus the stuff that the Raneys did, which we are so grateful for. But yeah, we've done a lot of work around here. So Laid Back Living was not right. Was not the right channel name, I guess. So that's kind of the gist on that. And then let's see, what was the other one? I know, did we talk about everything, guys? Is that so? We talked about, you know, the drain and how we built it. We talked about where Liz is going, and we talked about, I didn't bash Marty Raney. What else? We talked about where the channels are going. Yeah, so man, I think we pretty much covered it, guys. So like I said, I'm not trying to, you know, I really want to hammer down. I was not trying to bash Marty Raney. With the whole point of this entire channel, of both channels, I want to just tell it how it is. If, you know, I'm calling it as I see it. And there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. Nothing wrong with that at all. And it's unfortunate that that some people took it that way. Again, I apologize if you took it that way, but yeah, not what I meant by any means. I'll have to text Marty and let him know, hey, just so you know, if you see this, he'll laugh about it. He's a good guy, great guy. So yeah, that's probably the gist of that. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Please consider subscribing down below. Check out these videos up here if you want to see some more of either the homestead or outdoors. And we'll catch you guys later.